I missed you all last week. I was away in Western Mass, and it was nice to get a change of scenery after being at home for so long. So we're going to begin with just taking some breaths to enter into Shabbat space. My husband, Rabbi Jethro Berkman, will be accompanying, as he has for so many weeks now, on guitar. We're very, very grateful. And he'll play Shalom Aleichem or Ana B'choach while we take our deep breaths entering into Shabbat, letting go of the week and whatever it held for you, and wherever you're coming from, you know that you are welcome here. This space is for all of us. We're all coming from different places, spiritually and emotionally and geographically, especially in this virtual world. We are literally in different places geographically. So we connect with our breath as a way of connecting with one another, as a way of opening our hearts and our souls to connect with the riches of our tradition that will help us replenish our souls, always necessary, built into the fabric of creation, perhaps even more necessary now. Continue to breathe, just take in the music. Melody of Shalom Aleichem. Join me at home or just join along in the blessing. You know, we're in a period called the 3 weeks that lead up to Tisha B'Av, to the fast day, the mourning day, where we recall great losses of our people, including the destruction of the ancient temple. So I'm struck by that number of 3 weeks, and we'll bring our hands towards us, and we'll bring that flame into our souls and our hearts 3 times. So I just invite you to have a kavanah, have an intention for that number 3 this evening, whether it's bringing in 3 things that you are in need of, 3 things that you need to make space for in your soul. Let's invite 3 things in as we light the Shabbat lights and enter into sacred time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Shabbat Shalom. I invite you to join me with the words of Shalom Aleichem. Josh, if you wouldn't mind putting into the Zoom chat and maybe on Facebook in case folks don't have the link to the online prayer book, or if you're following along at home in the prayer book, please turn to page 24. Please know that I invite your voices just as I do when we're in person. Whether or not you're looking at the words, using the words, bring your voices into this sacred space this Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tonight I'm going to invite us to pray to untie our knots with Anna Bechoach. Our magical tech helper Josh has shared his screen so that you have the words here. We're just doing a little piece of this. It's a mystical piyut, liturgical poem. But as I've shared before, I'm really struck by this image of Tatir Tserura. Undo the knot, untie the knot. I don't know about you, but I have many knots in my neck, my shoulders, and sometimes in my soul. I think we all do, and I think that this beautiful, beautiful, mystical, liturgical poem reminds us that we have those knots and invites us to loosen into Shabbat and open ourselves so that we can receive all of the wisdom and beauty and love that is theirs for us and that is there for us in our tradition. So if the melody's new for you, just join along as you're comfortable. Ana bechoach bechoach gedulat yemincha yemincha tatir tzerura kabel rinatamcha sagveinu toreinu nora again. Anna Shoulders a roll. Make sure those knots are untied. I may be a little bit too influenced by the yoga program that I just started a couple of days ago. Forgive me if I make too many references to the knots in our bodies. But we know our bodies and souls are so very connected. So we're going to welcome in the beloved of Shabbat. We're going to sing out a song of welcome to this beautiful time that we need so deeply. We're going to sing the Chadodi to the melody of Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. When we get to the 9th verse, we sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 on pages 20 and 21 in the prayer book. When we get to the final verse, we'll rise if we are seated, and we'll bow to greet Shabbat as a bride or a queen.
Shabbat,
let's harvest up all the awe, all the wonder that we may have experienced this week in forms that are very small or large. If you want to share in the chat on Facebook or in Zoom, anything that you are feeling, that something that gave you a sense of awe, something that struck you, made you say, wow, could be something so small. So feel free to share that, and we're going to move into our wow psalm, Ma Gadlu Ma'asechaya. Some of us will sing the top of page 342 if you're following along, and some will just sing hallelujah. And if you haven't shared anything in the chat or someone that you're with, blooming dahlias, yes, those are beautiful. I want to share about hydrangeas. I've never been so aware of beautiful hydrangeas everywhere. So many different colors, just in full bloom in the past week. So floral or not floral, keep sharing. And we'll sing, and we'll try to just take note, take stock of all of the awesomeness, those things that gave us a sense of awe this week. Hallelujah, 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 to share some amazing experiences of awe that came through on the chat for those who can't see the chat. Heather Jackson, amazing Mazal Tov to you. Congratulations on the birth of your newborn son. I would say that you win for awe-inspiring experiences. Anyone else give birth? I don't know, but that is amazing, and we're thrilled for you. And the sun came out. Yes, that's another good one. A cool, refreshing day. Yes, indeed. And sorry for those of you who didn't catch the page number. We were on 342 for that, but now we're going to move into Ma'ariv with Chatzi Kaddish on page 26. And sorry if you mentioned your awe experiences on Facebook chat, and I wasn't able to see you there. But I like to think that anyone who's watching can feel connected to that group of people who are watching the same way and can see the chat there. I sure do eagerly await the day when we don't have to do any chat. We will just be in person together and can see each other's faces and share these experiences in person. So I invite you to join me. We'll be on page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ועל מה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קורי ואמרו, אמן. יהי שמירה במבורך, לעלם ולעלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח. ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה, ויתעלה שמי קודשה, בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה, ואמרו Amen. Please rise in body or in spirit for the Baruch Hu on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Page 30 in the middle of the page. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
Well, just bear with us a moment here, friends, while we reconnect. Zoom is on Shabbos, so, Zoom is having a nice Shabbat here. Zoom is having a nice Shabbat. Well, you know what, friends? Why don't we do a little reconnecting music?
Down, everybody. But
all right, and she's back to you, Rabbi. Just playing some filling.
Tech support that can also play the guitar.
Pleasure.
Great. So sorry, that has never happened before, but here we are. Fingers crossed it won't happen again. So anyway, I think that you missed Ahavat Olam, but I'm going to lead us into the Shema on page 32, just with the end, and then we'll go right into the Shema. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני Page 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך ידיך, בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך, ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בעם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Turn to Micha Mocha, our people's great song of gratitude. I invite you to just bring to mind and heart something for which you are feeling abundantly grateful this Shabbat. We're on page 40. Micha Mocha bailim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים. זה לי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל. We'll turn to Hashkivenu, our lullaby blessing, on page 42. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו just imagine the feeling of being embraced, held by a canopy of peace, a canopy of light. You feel warm and peaceful and secure. We pray that God spread over us a shelter of peace. We know that with our words and our actions, we create that shelter of peace for ourselves and by extension for those with whom we interact. We're going to sing Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Just that one line. It's the third line down on page 42, which means spread over us a sukkah of your peace, O God. Ufros Aleinu Sukat, Sukat Shlomecha. Ufros Aleinu Sukat, Sukat Shlomecha. Ufros Aleinu Sukat, Sukat Shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Going to take some time now for the Amidah, which begins on page 46, and we'll chant the first three blessings together. We'll have some time for silent reflection and prayer. Please rise in body or spirit and join me if you'd like to join in on page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Konei Hakol ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. into individual prayer, the words of the prayer book on the pages that follow, or the words that you need to express from within your soul this evening. Of the Amidah, we're going to sing these lines from the book of Psalms. Yehi shalom bechelech, shalva be'armenotayich. May there be peace within your strongholds, serenity within your palace. Invite a sense of shalva. Shalvat nefesh means a deep peace within your soul. Invite that in. Join in the words if you'd like. Dwell within that sense of peace. Yehi shalom v'cheilech shalva be'armenotayich. Yehi shalom v'cheilech shalva. Shalva be'armenotayich. Yehi shalom bechelech shalva be'armenotayich. Yehi shalom shalva be'armenotayich. Yehi shalom bechelech shalva be'armenotayich. We're going to now offer up a prayer for healing for body and spirit. Anyone that we know personally or know of anyone for whom we're praying this evening, you can share their names either just simply where you are, aloud, or in our Zoom chat. So we're praying for Zita's brother and sister-in-law who have COVID, and for Faith Rubin. And from our community, we are praying for Linda Hoffman, who was in the hospital but thankfully is home now. Certainly we are praying for Justice Ruth Ginsburg. And I'll give you another moment to say words aloud, names aloud, or put them into the chat. We'll be praying the Misha Berach in the middle of page 253. I'll add the words of Judy Mabel and Lois Rubin. So many who are in need of healing. The numbers of those who are ill from COVID-19 are astronomical, though they are not, thankfully, astronomical where we live. But I know many of us know many people who are suffering. We hold them tightly in our hearts tonight, and I want to add a name that came through in the Facebook chat is Sally Kaur, Howard Kaur's aunt. May all those whom we've named in our hearts and aloud and through this technology know complete healing of body and spirit. Refuah Shlema. I'm going to share just some words of Torah with you. It is hard to believe, but we are concluding the book of Numbers. We are concluding the fourth book of Torah, Bamidbar, which we call in English the book of Numbers, but means in the wilderness. And those of you who've been with us these many weeks for some of our pandemic Shabbat services know that I was thinking a lot about the imagery of Midbar, wilderness, and how that might resonate for us during this very strange time and frightening time. But now we are getting there. We're on the cusp of the Promised Land. This week is a double parasha. It's Matot Maaseh, and after we finish this parasha, next week we're moving on to Deuteronomy, Devarim. And I always find it amazing that the journey of reading Torah in yearly cycles really gives us this special opportunity to reflect on where we've been and look ahead to where we hope to be. And it feels right now like there's just the horizon of the Promised Land is peeking out towards us as we look towards the book of Deuteronomy. So the Israelites here are so close to what has been the promise to the people for so long, and the generation that is almost everyone in this multitude right now that is still in the wilderness, with the exception of Moses and Joshua and Caleb, are all of the generation of the wandering. All they've known is wandering. They did not know slavery, and they've been in this in-between state for so long. So in this Torah portion, this double portion, there's a really interesting mix of plot lines, you could say. The first section of the parasha is all about words, the power of language, and specifically of promise and oath. Really all about the importance of keeping our promises. And then we have this epic battle that the Israelites, except for Moses, wage against Midian. There's a lot of graphic detail. And then the spoils of war are divided up among the tribes. And then there's two tribes, Reuven and Gad, who request to settle outside of the borders of the land. We're already starting to see some division. The people went down to Egypt as a mixed multitude, right? They traveled through the desert as a mixed multitude, but they became an a people. And now on the precipice of entering into the land, they've been united, but now maybe they're going to be a little bit more divided. And of course, later, the kingdoms split. So what does language and division, what do those two things have to do with one another? So I was drawn to think about the power of language, which can be as dangerous a weapon or as constructive a tool as we can make it. Language can create and destroy, it can unify, and it can divide. The Eitz Chaim Chumash commentary says, the Bible stresses the power and the solemnity of words. And we know this from the opening verses of the Torah. The importance of language is built into the very fabric of how the world was created. We hear in the book of Genesis, God said, let there be light, and there was. The world is created through language from the very, very beginning. So I'm struck that there's an importance of language at the very beginning of Torah. And now as we're about to end this narrative journey, the book of Deuteronomy, which lies ahead, is really a lot of repetition. And it's the final oration of the leader, of Moses, before he dies. And so we're really ending this narrative in the same way that the Torah began, emphasizing that words can create, and so too, words can destroy. As the Eitz Chaim commentary puts it, a word is not merely a sound. It is real, it has substance, with the power to hurt or to heal, to elevate or to denigrate. And we know from Kol Nidre, the evening that of course begins Yom Kippur, that Kol Nidre means all the vows. A neder is a vow. Traditional Jews will make a promise and say, bli neder, without a vow. Why? Because to vow something was understood by our tradition for so long as having such power, as having the power of a law. When you promise to do something and you break it, you are actually desecrating something that has sanctity. And this power of language, of speech, is of course unique to us as a species on this planet. I do know that dolphins speak to each other in certain ways, and creatures have ways of communicating, right, with each other. We have this gift of speech through which we can be reflective, we can look back, we can look forward. We're living in a moment in which the destructive and divisive power of language is so present. In a crisis, we need to feel unified against a common enemy. It's much easier to make sacrifices of our personal comfort for the good of the whole if we feel connected to that whole. But the seeds of mistrust and division are sowed where we need to feel like we are together in this. And instead, in the crisis we face right now in this country, we don't feel that sense of unity as we have in past crises. And I think the accurate and respectful use of language here is critical and something for us to reflect on at this time. There is a prominent healthcare leader whom I really admire. His name is Andy Slavitt, and he was the administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services under the Obama administration. And I read a lot of what he thinks and what he writes on Twitter. And yesterday he was writing about the dangers of the lack of unity and of all of our states in this nation acting independently, when of course the pandemic by nature does not discriminate, does not care for state boundaries or borders, and requires a unified response. Andy Slavitt wrote, and this is a compilation of some of his tweets, "We crave a unified response, not uniform, but unified." And he speaks to the critical impact of our national discourse. He says, we've got to improve our discourse, the conversations around masks, around schools, our treatment of public health officials, of Fauci, the hiding of numbers, the spin, Congress's role, the neighbor against neighbor, the internal family squabble. We are just beginning. The questions don't get easier, but we're going to have to get better as a society at answering them. These are existential times, and the questions are ethical, practical, prioritization. They will define who we are. The Depression shaped us, the war, Vietnam and the 60s, 9/11, our responses, whether we pulled together or apart, whether we were supported, whether we were unified, whether we ultimately prevailed, what we ended up squandering. Many people feel alone and anxious because the waters are uncharted, and no one seems to be holding an oar, steering, looking ahead, watching out for them. That feeling is beyond the virus. It's about whether we feel like we have anything anymore. Society, government, the goodwill of neighbors, these things we have tacitly counted on, assumed we would be there for us in rough times. There's a lost feeling among many when we're left on our own, even in a society that values rugged individualism, rights, and freedom. There are times when that collective bond is needed. Times today and times ahead are tough and asking for the best of us. We need to show if we still have it. We need to navigate what's ahead. So, following on those words of Andy Slavitt, what can we learn from our people's sacred text and experience to help us in these uncharted waters? So, the power of words. The verse says, if a person makes a vow to God or takes an oath imposing an obligation on herself, she shall not break her pledge. She must carry out all that has crossed her lips. The text says he, but I'm using the feminine here. If a person makes a vow, they must not break their pledge. They must carry out what they have promised. The Hebrew here for the word to break the pledge, literally means desecrate. So the Eitz Chaim, again, in the Chumash, comments that a vow generally was taken in a moment of crisis. I'm sure we're all familiar with this experience. We make a promise, I'll never do this again, or I'll always do this, if only I come out of this crisis. So it's very much part of human nature. A vow taken in a moment of crisis, often once the crisis has passed, we're tempted to forget the vow. So we have again and again in Torah, you must not desecrate. Language has power, language has holiness. You must not break your promise. So the sense that words have power, we have to remember more than ever in this moment of crisis, we need to pay attention to what crosses our lips. We know that you could certainly argue that language has led to so much death and devastation. Calling a pandemic a hoax has led to so many deaths, has had people thinking they don't need to wear a mask. This is made up. Here we have a real-time example of how much words matter and how much leaders need to use language carefully. So we are all, in some sense, on our own, though connected through our community, connected to our tradition, and I really urge us to act in accordance with our Torah values of the importance and power of language, both to create and connect and to destroy. Interestingly, the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, that we're about to enter into Sorry, I'm just seeing that people were having trouble hearing me. I'm sorry, a little late on that. Just gonna fix this. So the book of Devarim actually means, it can mean words. And like I said, it's all repetition. So much of it is repetition of what has happened previously. And we're coming to the end of the narrative arc of Torah. So I think too, the fact that we're entering into the book of words, that we need to hear again, that there's no such thing as hearing these deep truths too much. And there are some things that perhaps are better left unsaid. And there are some things that we need to hear again and again. It's going to be through these words as we enter into the book of Devarim and as the Israelites are about to enter into the land, that this generation that did not know slavery and have been in this liminal space in the wilderness, it's going to be through words that they are going to learn where they've come from. They're going to learn of their history, and words and language are going to be so crucial into helping them be strong and inspired to create the society built on compassion and justice that they are to create. So I want to leave you with, I think, a fairly well-known adage about language. I think it comes from the medieval Sufi poet Rumi, although I'm not totally certain. And these words are, before you speak, let your words pass through 3 gates. The first gate is the question that you must ask yourself: is it true? The second, is it necessary that I speak these words? And the third, is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? As we paddle together through these uncharted waters, I hope that we will remember the emphasis of our tradition on the power of language, and we will use our words to create and to heal, and not to destroy and to bring down. May we all know healing and wholeness. Shabbat Shalom. Going to move toward concluding our service. As always, first of all, I apologize if I wasn't audible enough. Really, really sorry about that. I will make a note for next time that there may be some volume issues I will address, so I apologize for that. And always available for discussion. I do wish that this could be more interactive. If you have questions, comments on anything I've said tonight, I certainly welcome a dialogue. And now we're going to move toward concluding our service. We will turn to Aleinu on page 282 if you're following along in the book, and please rise. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל. ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Now we have the opportunity to recite Mourner's Kaddish for those who have died at this season in years past, and those who are currently in a time of mourning. Please let me know names of those you're remembering. I can see the Zoom chat. Josh, if you see any names in the Facebook chat, if you could pass them along. So we are remembering tonight Ann Kaplan, who was a member of the Sisterhood, and Spence's mother-in-law, Harriet Golden. And we remember Neil Spritz, father of Nathan Spritz. I will be reciting Kaddish tonight for my grandfather, Maurice Marcus, my pop métis. And Linda Finstein. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Rona, but I'm thinking of you. Linda Gerstein Finstein, your dear friend. For all those we are remembering tonight, may their memories be a blessing for their loved ones and all who knew them. We're on page 294. Please rise, as is your custom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrah yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon v'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kori v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'yalma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru imeru. Amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Before we make Kiddush and Motzi and conclude our service, I just wanted to share a couple of announcements. I have a special birthday shout out. A little birdie told me that it is Ellen Mosner's birthday today. Or I dreamt it. I hope it's true and it didn't come to me in a dream. Ellen, if you could confirm. I believe it is your birthday. And if it is your birthday, I wish you a very, very, very happy birthday. It is also the birthday of my sister-in-law, Annie. Very happy birthday to you, Annie, if you're watching, or even if you're not. And a shout out to my mom, Wendy, whose birthday is tomorrow. If you have a birthday, you can give a shout out in the chat, and I'll announce that too. It's like those old radio shows where you could do dedications. I guess those still exist, but where you could send out a dedication to someone. So you can do that if you or someone you know is having a birthday today or anytime soon. Tomorrow morning at 10:30, Rabbi Schaefer will be leading a Torah. True. Ellen says true. Happy birthday, Ellen. Tomorrow, Rabbi Schaefer will be holding a Torah study at 10:30. And also, what else is happening? A lot is happening this coming week. We're going to give you a lot of opportunities for just connecting to the theme of this season in these weeks that lead up to Tisha B'Av. We want to help you connect to some ancient wisdom and traditions around grief and mourning as we think about the many losses that we are experiencing during this pandemic. So we have a special program that will be happening on Thursday, the 23rd at 7 p.m. that Rabbi Schaefer and I will be leading. It will include some song and some reflection and study. On Wednesday at 5 o'clock, the Women's Rosh Chodesh group will meet, also on the theme of resilience and comfort and consolation, led by Shir Chadash member Ruth Seidman, and I will be there as well, and we'll have a discussion on these themes. And then for Tisha B'Av, in observance of the day itself, we'll be joining with our sister congregations over Zoom, and Rabbi Schaefer and I will be leading a service. I will be chanting some of the Book of Lamentations, Eicha, and that is on the 28th. All the information is, of course, in your newsletter, in your email, and online. So we hope to see you at some of these upcoming offerings. So with that, and happy birthday to Deborah's nephew, Nico, turning 7 today. Awesome. So we're going to make Kiddush and Motzi and then conclude with Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Josh, if you could share the words to Olam Chesed for everybody in just a moment. And if you'd like to join in with Kiddush at home, we'll be on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tefila lemikra'ei kodesh, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי באנו ובחרת, אותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. We have challah tonight. I hope you do too. I'm pretty thrilled. It's Rosenfeld's. I wish we could share it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And now we will sing Olam Chesed Yibaneh. I've put the words on the screen for you. And just want to let you know, if you didn't see it already, that if you're a member, you received the newsletter today with a recording that Andy O'Connell and I made. Andy was able to use some technical wizardry to put his harmonies together with my voice, and he even accompanied the recording with drum and with guitar. So that recording is, I believe, up on our website and also in our newsletter. I'm missing my guitarist, but we are going to sing Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Here he is. And I also want to share that the composer of this melody, Rabbi Menachem Creditor, emailed me today and said that he heard our version online because he gets Google alerts when somebody writes about him or about this song, and it directed him to our website. And he said that he loved it. So that was a great honor because, of course, I love this song, and I feel like we can never sing it too many times and remind ourselves to build this world from love. So now you have the words. Please join with me. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibaneh, dadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibaneh, with you. I want to thank Rabbi Jethro Berkman for accompanying me as he has for so long. I'm going to, those of you who are on Zoom, welcome to stay and just chat for a moment if you'd like. We can unmute everybody. And those watching through the other platforms, it was so great to be with you. And I hope to see you next week. And I wish you a good week, a good Shabbat, and a good week ahead. So let's see if I can mute everybody.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. Good to have you back, Rabbi.
Hope you had a nice vacation.
And
Thank you.
at least some of us could hear you, Rabbi. I think you came through to most of
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. I really can't wait for the day where I don't have to worry about
Rabbi,
it.
real quick, go ahead and stop the stream. I made you host before.
Oh,
I stopped it real quick.
Thank you, Josh.